What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today's gonna be a little bit longer of an episode. It's freaking bright out here. I need some sunglasses, but we are getting the cars ready to go to the track. We already have the wheels and tires swapped. We thrashed on finishing the intercooler on the red car yesterday. You will see that in an upcoming video where we compare. I'm gonna show you guys the exact size fitment on the Treadstone 1245 28R, which is the biggest end tank intercooler they make, aside from going to their 6-inch core, which does not use a lower end tank. So it fits really good on the Cobra. That's all done and wrapped up. Like I said, you'll see that in the next video. Dan's car is, we installed a wide open throttle box on it this morning, so we're excited to see the changes there. And we are heading up to the MKE Real Street Takeover event. It's really mainly test and tune from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. and then they're gonna start the no clocks, flashlight start event. We'll see if we maybe pick up a couple grudge races, but for the most part, that's what we're doing today, and tomorrow is Anarchy. So if the testing goes well on the red car, we'll get the red car and Anarchy tomorrow. So it's kind of a really eventful weekend. It's gonna be a super long video, so hang tight with us throughout this one because we're gonna be covering 2 days of racing, which is obviously a ton of content, and we're probably just gonna clump it all together. So this will be a very long video. Dan?
Let's get going.
It's been a long morning. What's your goal? What's your goal today?
I don't know, 1660. Let's see.
Without breaking a half shaft, right? Dan's best so far, you guys seen in the last videos, is 11.6 in his car, which was the last run it made of last year when it broke. So we got a whole lot going on. We got John's enclosed trailer. We got full of golf cart. We're pretty much official racers this weekend. Complete with enclosed tool or complete with enclosed trailer, toolkit, golf carts. We're just gonna be stunting this time. I got a new camera holder that I found that I forgot I had. That's a little bit easier to hold you guys right off my face. All right, anyway, we're gonna head back to the houses. We're going to meet up with all the rest of the gang that have been running around getting food and all that kind of stuff for this weekend. And then when we hop in the cars, we will go back. I wish I had the GoPro on. We made some pretty good test hits in the red car up the street. And pretty excited to see what it'll do today. But you guys will see that shortly. All right, guys, we are en route. We are sitting on the side of the road waiting for Anthony. He's grabbing some stuff from his house, and we're taking off. Dan's behind me. Danny's behind him. We're rolling deep up to the track today. But we are driving the car there this time. Freaking street car. Go there, crack a 9, drive it home. That's the goal today. That's the goal today. All right, let's get to the track. Alright guys, so you guys saw the first attempt at Dan's pass, complete opposite of what we had last year. Knocked the tire clean off, ripped all the rubber off the track, and we're gonna see what's going on after that. Yeah, pretty interesting. It's pretty much like starting all over now that the car can leave on boost, wide open throttle, but it did have a problem down track where it sounded like it was activating that two-step again. So we're gonna have to see what's going on with that. He should be pulling up any second. Don't brake, don't brake.
That car before, you see that thing? No. That in the left lane? Oh, dude, like, that big tire car? 8th mile, like, almost sideways.
Alright guys, unfortunately we have bad news on Dan's car. It is not making a clean pass. Something to do with the watt box reactivating on the 1-2 shift, and probably because the gas pedal is coming slightly off wide open throttle and causing it to restart the two-step for the launch. So that's why I was breaking it up. We're gonna have to do some more testing on it. Maybe we'll get another pass in it tonight, but the clocks will be off, so we won't know how fast. All right, guys, I'm back at the shop. It's 12:45 in the morning, and we decided to lock in for Anarchy tomorrow. And we did not test it at the track. We literally decided to lock in at Anarchy just because of how well the red car is driving on the street. So it's gonna be interesting. We're untested. So unfortunately at the track, we didn't get good test data or 2 good test passes out of Dan's car. First one knocked the tire clean off. Second one bogged and did what it was kind of doing before. We think we're onto something though. Something's going on. It's going into some kind of torque management safety mode and commanding like a super lean air fuel ratio, basically shutting the injectors off. But the red car is freaking flying on the street. I mean, I just drove it home with like 11 pounds of tire pressure in the back and let it dig a handful of times, and it's moving. I really gotta get a chest mount GoPro so you guys can come with me on the rides. But there's a few things that we need to address. I need to go over the whole front suspension, make sure everything's tight, nothing's wrong with it. There's a vibration in the front. I'm gonna weld the steering shaft solid and probably mess with the rear end a little bit. I'm just gonna lengthen or shorten one of the lower control arms on one side to see if the car will drive a little bit straighter down the road. We got it aligned today, really didn't make any difference. So I wanna try to play with the back. Maybe the rear end is driving the car one way or the other. I mean, it's manageable, so if it gets a little bit better, it's perfect. But I do really wanna figure out the vibration in the front, and the play on the steering wheel is coming from the Flaming River steering shaft. So I'm gonna weld that together because it's got like a slip joint, you guys will see. But yeah, tech is at 8:30 in the morning tomorrow, so I have roughly 9 hours and 45 minutes or 7 hours and 45 minutes before it's got to be at tech inspection tomorrow morning, and it's got to get washed. So that's what we're doing. It's crazy. But she's flying, and I saw some of the stick shift cars there today. I think we can have a good time tomorrow. If we get lucky through the rounds, I think the car's got the potential to go a couple, as long as we don't get matched up with some hitter that makes a decent pass. So hopefully we don't get matched up with a couple of our friends in the Banger class. It'd be nice to kind of all progress together. All right, 2 hours later, it's 2 a.m. Dan got back from the track. He helped me finish up the red car and getting it ready for Anarchy tomorrow. We welded the steering shaft that's in the engine bay, welded that all up. Basically was just able to throw tacks on the joints, take the play out of it. And the wheel still had a little bit in it, so we followed that to the Flaming River shafts once again. That's underneath the dash. It uses the same slip style union. So instead of welding that underneath the dash, we actually put a feeler gauge in there and took up the slop. So it is way better than it was. As far as the car pulling left, we lengthened one of the rear control arms. We're gonna see if that helps the car go down the road a little bit straighter. And then we found that a lot of the slop in the front end was actually in the rack itself. So we were playing with if you have a Flaming River manual rack, you've seen this before, but there's like a big, huge nut on there with a little set nut in the middle. And we were playing with that, and that was actually kind of loose. So I was able to kind of crank that down, tighten it up, and that took the slop back out of that's basically the adjustment for the lash and the gears in the rack. So it seemed like it loosened up, tightened that down. A lot of the slop went away. So between that and the steering shaft, we eliminated 90% of it. We put Dan's front wheels on it because his tires are much newer than the ones on the chrome wheels. And he just went 100 and plus on them. So, and they were smooth. So everything points to it being okay. Hopefully it doesn't pull left or right, but at least we've made this one turn longer, this lower control arm on the side. And if it gets worse, then we know obviously we'll shorten it back up and see if that gets better. But I think we got it. All right, but it's late. I'm gonna put the battery on the charger so we can finish this video tomorrow at Anarchy. Wish us luck. All right, guys, it is Anarchy morning. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. Thank you guys so much for staying tuned on this longer video from us. But we are driving the car. I washed it today, so it doesn't look nearly as bad as it did yesterday. And after a couple hits yesterday, it's running really good, so we're really excited. Everything's looking pretty promising. We got to get a couple chip draws in our favor. You know, because there is some heavy contenders, but we're Well, obviously we made it. Did a couple things. Changed spark plug, and set tire pressure. Removed some of the interior, dropped a little bit of weight, and changed the 2-step RPM. And that's about it. Now we're gonna go into the staging lanes and wait for our turn. So here we go. First real event. I mean, I guess no, we did MKE last year. First bigger event. We're going up against Gray ZR1 from Speedy Petey. Got Yorkie Zevo and Tyler Ditchfield's Camaro is now a turbo car, Turbo LS. First round win. That's what we like. Yeah. Oh, my bad. Round 2 against Brian Johnson.
so lucky that time. We knocked the tire off in the beginning, still got into it, and a little bit all over the track, and we weren't able to pull in. So we lost by a few car lengths, but the car still handled pretty well. We got some good data. We went right after a hard tire, which kind of cleaned the track, so there wasn't really anything sticky on there. Like I said, knocked the tire off in the beginning, and that was all she wrote basically. So now we're just looking through the data log and checking everything out. Everything else looked good, plugs look good. So might get a grudge race or two in, we'll see, with another banger car. Kind of go from there.
Alright guys, what a hell of a day it has been today. I don't even know how I have energy to talk to you guys right now, but I need to wrap up this video, and I want to say thanks to everybody who, obviously our crew, Anthony, Dan, my brother, Mikey, Matt, John Galloway especially, Larry Sonner at ASSC. Thank you guys so much for helping us out. Today was an awesome track day. We were I mean, the red car is awesome and we love it. It's a badass street car, by the way, that I drove there and back.
100-ton power without any issues.
And I made just as many hits on the way home as I made at the track. So that thing is fucking awesome. There's nothing bad we can say about that thing at all. But it is still the underdog of its class. I mean, full interior, small baby blower that's only rated to make 900 or something at the flywheel. We're not even making that, and we're still out there hanging with these guys. So the races you guys saw today, mad props to those guys for winning, especially against us. We actually raced the vet again, as you saw. We grudge raced him at the end, and he just squeaked past us in the 8th. That's definitely one that we would even be interested in running back for a third time for a 2 out of 3, because that was some good racing from Ryan Peterson, or Speedy Petey, whatever he's most known as. And then Brian Johnson, we've raced in the past. He red lit last time. That thing is a rocket ship. It probably makes the same horsepower as the red car and probably weighs half of what it does. So no huge surprise there, but it is still awesome to see it work, and being able to share a racetrack with those guys is really an honor, because it's really nice that we're got something fast enough to even think about competing in those classes. So it's so much fun. Once again, we did drive it there and back. We had no issues at all today. I mean, 0.
It was nice. Weird.
We adjusted the tune a little bit. We trimmed it up. We still haven't even leaned on it yet. We could probably take a good amount of fuel out of it still. Timing is about where it wants to be. So the intake air temps, I mean, we have to bring you a whole separate video on the intercooler thing, but The intake air temps were like 60, 70 degrees less, and it's not just because of the weather. The intercooler was literally hard to touch on one side and like freezing cold on the other after almost every pass. So just
working.
freaking super day, dude. Super day.
It's weird that we didn't. It's like because we didn't have to work on the car much versus sometimes when
Not
we
normal.
It was like drain the catch can
and
check the spark plug. Next round's up. They were
pressure and go.
this is I mean, this is how amateur we are. They'd be like, bangers to the stage lanes, bangers to the stage lanes. We're like, oh shit, we gotta get the car ready. We had an hour and a half of downtime, and within the 15 minutes that we had to be to the stage lanes, we were making sure the spark plug was good, making sure the catch can was empty, making sure tire pressure was good, and then we were right back in line. So my driving got better throughout the day. The last pass was probably the best. The first pass short shifted first, short shifted second, short shifted third. I mean, every gear was under. And then the last pass, I was finally keeping it up around the 7,000 mark. Second pass was about 7,000 every time. But then we made a hit on the street on the way home, and I let that thing eat until the shift light came on, and I should have been doing that all day. It's just, it was fucking cooking. It made like 19 pounds of boost in the top of third. That D1 is swinging. She's trying hard. But also, special thanks to you guys so much for watching our videos. Not that it really matters, but we're averaging about 1,000 views per video, and you know, this time last year we were averaging like 100 views per video. So that's huge for us to be seeing that, and thank you guys all for subscribing and watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this longer video from us this time. Dan, I think, commentated the majority of today's video, so comment down below what you thought about the new host.
Oh, God.
And make sure you guys are following us on other social media. We are going to be going to the track again soon with both the red car and Dan's Cobra, now that we are working on getting the combinations figured out. We did not know how fast the Cobra went today. If we had to guess, it's probably still in that 10.0, like 980 to 10.0 range. And we freaking drove it there and back. I've been swinging on that all day. And that's
well, how many guys can say they did that?
Yeah, not a single car that we...
I don't know.
No, I asked him.
Oh, he didn't.
He says, I could have.
But
you didn't. So,
second stick manual car with full leather interior is not a bad thing.
no cage. We had like 3 people come up to us today, and they were like, no cage, huh? Like, I drove it here. It pretty much trumps everything. Nick Coleman said, he goes, hey, if it's 9.0 or 11.0, the fact that it's a banger makes it one of the baddest cars on the property anyway. So, and we drove it back. Anyway, we're pumped, man. Today was freaking sweet. We could talk all night about how fucking awesome it was. But I don't know if it's gonna be the intro or the outro to this video, but overall, it was good. So we will see you guys in the next video. We're gonna cover more details in the next video on the intercooler install, because you guys did not see that yet. And then I'm gonna also measure the car to get some dimensions off of it tomorrow for you Fox Body guys that might wanna fit this big treadstone on. For $510, no joke, best $510 that I've spent on the Cobra. And there's been a lot of $510 projects that I've done in the last year on that thing. Yeah. So the intercooler was well worth it, worth it. 60-70% increase in charge temps, way more blower efficiency. I mean, it was awesome. And man, there were some wicked cars at the track today. I wish we got more coverage of other cars. We do need to make a priority to do that at the track, because there was some sick cars today, both banger and not banger. Yeah, yesterday was great too. So congrats to all the winners of Anarchy No Prep, MKE takeover event. Both of that was awesome. We'll see you guys in the next video. Subscribe down below, and we're going to bed.
Oh.